Hey, so you definitely don't know who I am, but my name is Emily Brown. I've been working in restaurants since I was 15 years old. So it's been 5 years of experience for me. I know that you guys are under attack, and I'm assuming you guys probably have tons of messages and calls berating you, maybe complaining. I just wanted to call and leave a message talking about how much I feel for you guys, and I hope you guys get through this, and how much I appreciate you guys as a company. And I hope that this all gets sorted out for you, and I hope that maybe this little message will reach someone and it will put you a little bit more at ease. I hope that this all gets taken care of, but just know that at least one person understands if it takes a little bit of time and really appreciates everything you do and how attentive you've been at updating everyone about the situation. So yeah, I hope you had a good New Year, and I hope you have the best of luck in the future with the situation. Thanks again, and bye.
End of message.
What's up, y'all? This is Will here at Schedule Fly. And to set the stage for that message that you just listened to, I got that message when I was literally laying on the floor in my office, desperately trying to keep up with listening to voicemails and returning voicemails when we were in the middle of our ransomware attack. It was fairly early in the process. It was a scary time, and Millie took the time to leave that message, and it's one of two messages I have saved on my phone that will not go away. The other one's from my son from 3 years ago. But that message, that's a moment I won't forget, because it lifted me, it lifted all of us here at Schedule Fly. And it's a great example of what a small gesture can mean to people at the right time. And Millie took the time to make that phone call and leave that message, and we're forever grateful for it. So this is a special episode because we had an opportunity to have Millie here on the podcast, and we had a wonderful conversation. She's a great young lady. She's got a wonderful future ahead of her. Super kind, super thoughtful, good at what she does, loves what she does, works hard at it, and is just a great person, has a great presence. So thank you to Millie. Thank you to her team at Victory Brewing in Philadelphia. Victory's a great customer. They have quite a few locations on the East Coast, and Philadelphia's a new one. They opened just a few months ago. So the team up there is working really hard, and I'm sure had some headaches when we had our ransomware issue, and they rolled up their sleeves and got through it. And we're proud to serve them. We're proud to serve people like Millie. Millie is a wonderful example of the many, many thousands of people that we're lucky to serve here at Schedule Fly that look at life like she does. And this is hospitality at its core, that voicemail that she left. And anyway, thank you for listening. Enjoy this episode, and more coming soon. Take care. How are you?
Good. How are you? It's nice to see you.
Do you go by Emily or Millie?
I prefer Millie just because I meet a lot of Emilys, but I don't really mind either way.
No, that's all good. Millie it is. I just noticed that that name came up on your screen, just popped up. Well, thank you very much for taking the time to do this, Millie. Very much appreciated.
I don't know how I could say no. I mean, you were so sweet. I've never had something like this happen to me, so I just really appreciate it.
Oh, well, it'll happen, I'm sure, plenty more, the kind of person you are. So for those listening, to set this up, when we went through our ransomware attack at the beginning of the year, and we put a note out that just said, you call us. And I was answering all these phone calls, but I was trying to help people understand what was going on, because a lot of people were really confused. but the site was down and we were just getting bombarded with calls. And most people were pretty positive or understanding. There were certainly our share of folks that weren't too happy. But then I was completely exhausted and going through just dozens and dozens of voicemails nonstop. And every time I'd clear out my voicemails, they'd be full again. And your voicemail, so Millie called and left a voicemail, and it stopped me in my tracks because it was such a kind message. And it was saying that you knew we probably had our share of, frustrated customers, and you just wanted to let us know that you supported us and you hope that that your message got to somebody. And I was like, well, it definitely got to somebody. All right. And we've communicated since then, but man, I have to this day, I have 2 voicemails that are saved. One is from my son 3 years ago, and the other one is the one you left. And I won't delete that because it was such a meaningful message. It's such a scary time for us. And the fact that you took the time to do that was just huge, Millie. And it really, to me, one of the reasons it was just so meaningful is because we serve the hospitality industry. That's who we love to serve, and we're very grateful for that. And hospitality means how you make people feel, and that's what that is. What you did is hospitality. So that's just such a amazing thing to do, to take the time, particularly in light of what was happening, and make that phone call. So I'm just glad to have a chance to, we've communicated through Instagram, but I'm glad a chance to look you in the eyes and say thank you, because it's really cool that you did that.
Oh God, thank you. I mean, like I said, I sent my message out and I was like, I hope somebody gets this. I'm used to companies being like, thank you, we got your message, but you were above and beyond. You played the voicemail on tape for people. You sent me a personal thank you. You sent me merch, which was super nice, and the people at my job also love them. So that's awesome.
Oh, good.
And you got me on this podcast. I could not be more grateful.
Well, so then so tell me about yourself. You, I think you mentioned in the voicemail that you have been in the hospitality business for 5 years now, right? So
Yep.
Give me your story.
So I live in Philly now. I go to Temple. But growing up, I lived in this small little town. It was called Nazareth. It's in the Lehigh Valley area, a half hour outside of Allentown. And I remember my parents were talking about getting me a job because it was legal for me to get a job at that point. And I started working at Rita's, and Rita's was a fun little thing. And then after that, there was this pizza shop that was hiring for a server, and it was BYOB. So you didn't have to be 18 to serve there. And I didn't know at first if I was going to like it, because I can be I don't want to say awkward, but I can be socially anxious at points. So I didn't know if I was going to be able to do that successfully, but I ended up loving it. I loved being a small part of someone's day that could, make or break it almost. I love the community of all my coworkers and everyone just kind of being one big family. So it became something I love to do. And I also got pretty competitive with it. So I tried to perfect the best I can. And I've made it through the chain. I've been to pizza shops. I worked at chain restaurants, and now I work at a brewery. It's been a great time.
Tell us about the brewery where you work.
It's called Victory Brewing Company. They have a couple of other locations. I think they have one in Charlotte as well. I think you live in North Carolina, correct?
I live outside of Charlotte. They do. They have. I think the company's headquartered here, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all have got a lot of different brands and a very, very admired business. In fact, there was another gentleman who works at a brewery that your company owns up outside of Asheville, North Carolina. And he called, and we had just a wonderful conversation, and he insisted I come up there, and he, on him sometime, which I'm going to take him up on that. But I just have a profound respect for your company after this, because that's 2 people that really, made a difference. So, how long have you been at Victory there in Philly?
I started working there when they first opened. I actually was one of the few employees that kind of helped them put the construction together like 2 weeks before it started. So I believe we opened in October for the public, but I've been working there since like September.
Oh, that's cool. So, then you're very new to the brewery is new. Where is it in Philly?
It's in Center City. It's on Benjamin Franklin Parkway. So if you know where the art museum is, it's like right across the circle from there, right by Windsor and all those crazy places.
Awesome. Okay. And then you're at Temple as a student.
Yes.
So is it challenging to balance school and work?
That is always the balance I try to strive for. Like I said, I'm pretty competitive when it comes to serving. That's just kind of how my dad raised me to be. Like I want to be the best at everything that I do. So of course I want to like dive headfirst into this job, especially because this is a job where I love my bosses, my managers are super cool, my coworkers are amazing, and we get some good clientele. And also the money's pretty good. So I want to make sure that like I'm there a lot, but at the same time, like school comes first. So I kind of have to find like the mental balance for it. And I do most of the time. And my managers are really understanding about stuff. Like if I need to take a night off for studying for a final or something, they're very accommodating. So it's nice.
That's good. How has it been up there with, a lot of places around the country are having a hard time getting people to work right now. Have y'all seen that as well?
We're seeing it. Yeah, no, we are definitely seeing it more in like hosting and like essays and like food runners. Serving and bartending, I mean, those are the positions that everyone kind of guns for. So we have a good amount of people in those positions. It's more so that like, I don't know, it's hard work and people are just having a hard time like sustaining it. So right now I'm actually helping them out. I food run a little extra here and there just to make sure they have like shifts covered. I know that people are like looking at Victory as kind of like a hotspot since it's so new. So I know if they like needed a server or a bartender, they could probably pull one in really easily. But like essays and food runners are a little bit harder.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I love the competitive spirit. So you take it very seriously and work really, really hard at it. And that's an important part of success for sure. Well, it sounds like you found something that you really enjoy. I mean, you've been in the business for a while now. What are you going to school for?
I'm actually going to school for clinical psych. So
Okay.
like my long-term goal would be to work in like inpatient hospitals. Like I want to be like a social worker, which is actually why I like hospitality so much, like serving specifically, because I feel like, I need like a degree to talk to people one-on-one and talk about their problems or like make them feel better, I guess. But I can just do that all day long at my job. Like I can just like talk to a table or like make them a little bit happier, make their day a little bit better. Like, that's all I want to do.
Yeah, for sure. So do you, has there been anybody over the years that you mentioned your dad, really helped you learn to work hard at what you're doing and be the best at it? What about with your jobs? Have there been some folks that have really made a big impact on you?
Actually, it's funny you say that. My general manager, so like I said, I love my managers. They're like super cool. I've never worked at a place where my managers are like this nice to the employees. My general manager, his name's Connor. Last night I was food running and we had a table shoot some profanity at me over something. And I even told him, I was like, you don't have to kick them out. Like, it's not my table. I'm not making money off of them. And he was like, no, I don't want people like that talking to my employees like that. So he ended up like just dropping the check for them. And it was just nice to know that he had my back over the customers. I look up to him a lot. He's very experienced in what he does a lot. And then there's this bartender named Malcolm, and he has probably the most experience out of everybody. And he just does everything so nicely. Like I watch him and like all the time, just making drinks just so I can learn from him. He's just really, really cool.
Awesome. Very cool. How big is the team there? I mean, y'all are a customer. I could look, but how many folks do you have on staff there?
They were talking when they first hired people like over 100.
Yeah.
I think like 80 to 100 would probably be like the best bet. right now. Because we had people drop off after we opened up, and they decided that they needed to move on, which is fine.
Yeah.
But it is a pretty big staff there.
What that thing hanging on the wall behind you, what does that signify? Yeah.
It doesn't signify anything really. It's like I like tapestries.
Cool. Very cool. I like it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I
no,
like
I'd be lying. I think that's awesome. Yeah. I didn't know if it was like Grateful Dead or something like that. It reminded me of something you might find with Grateful Dead. Very cool. Are you an artist?
I guess like I like to doodle. My boyfriend is actually much better at art than I am. I like to sing though. That's like more of my like artistic choice.
That's cool. What do you sing?
I sing a bunch of stuff. When I was in high school, I went to this like charter school where you had to audition and pick like a art major so that you could do like half your day in the art and half your day during regular school. So I learned how to like classically sing. So I'm like classically trained, and I also play my guitar and I sing like modern music and stuff all over the place.
Oh, that's cool. What kind of music do you like? It sounds like probably a lot.
I like all types of music. Really, my favorite though is probably rock. I really like rock. I'm very heavily into like metal music right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Weird for, but I jump around. It depends on like what my mood is at the current moment.
Yeah. Yeah. I gotcha. Rock and heavy metal. Have you ever heard of Greta Van Fleet? Do you know them?
I feel like my dad's mentioned them before.
That's classic. He's probably the same age as me, or if not even younger. So yeah, they're a good. They're like a modern day version of like a Zeppelin or something like that.
I gotta check them out then.
What's that?
I gotta check them out then.
Yeah, Greta Van Fleet. I mean, they're young dudes. There's like four of them, and three of them are brothers. And then they have the other guy. I guess the drummer is not part of the family, but they are. I mean, they're like in their early 20s. They've been doing it since they were teens. Well, that's cool. So, well, you you really that really struck me, Millie. So I'm really glad that we have a chance to connect like this, and I don't know what did it. Why did you do that? I should ask that question.
When I called you, I was actually out in California. My boyfriend, he works demolition, so his job site changes a lot. So I get to come visit. And I was just like, I was always watching your updates because I always thought that was really cool that you cared enough to like put individual updates for each day so that we really know what was happening. And I was texting like the work group chat, like what was going on and like how everything was being handled. And like I said, I just know from working with people in my life that some people just don't understand that it's not within your control to put the website back up, and because you would probably want it back up and have it
Yeah.
for everybody, but you couldn't. It was outside sources, and I knew that's at least like a couple of people were going to call and be like, oh, like what's wrong with you, da 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 da, like illogical stuff. So I just wanted to make sure that at least like one person was like, hey, I'm rooting for you, I'm thinking of you, take as much time as you need, I know you're trying. That's also like super scary. Like ransomware is like super scary. And I didn't want your like voicemail to be full of like messages that were negative. So I just needed to put at least one in there, especially because you were so nice. Like your videos were so nice. And I was like, oh, he seems like such a nice man. I got us.
Well, but you did it like in the first couple of days too. Like it was before we were putting a lot of them up there. You really stepped up early. And, ransomware it's crazy. You hear about it and you hear of other companies and you hear of things like the Colonial Pipeline, all these big businesses and all that. And we were just so surprised that, we had to go through that. But it was very scary, but it was also so in a lot of ways exhilarating for us on the tail end once we got back up of seeing how many people, that we were fortunate enough that stuck with us and supported us. So, but going out of your way like that was just so cool, Millie, and you're a very special person. And please make sure your dad watches this as well. I'm super impressed. I'm a competitive person too, and I have 3 kids, and I raise them the way of, putting their all into whatever they do. So, thank you very much. I'm glad you got the hats and socks.
Oh my God, yes. So we have a designated tie-dye guy on our team, like a server there. And I gave him a pair of socks and he was like, these tie-dye beautifully, like I'll tie-dye you like a brand new pair. So I'm just gonna give him like a bunch of them because everyone wants one.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
it's gonna be super dope.
that's awesome. Yeah, those tube socks tie-dye. That's pretty sweet. Oh, I
Oh
love
yeah.
it.
And they're so comfortable, like incredibly comfortable. They're so fuzzy.
They're great socks. I mean, I don't have any business wearing tube socks at my age, but I wear them like when I have my, pants on and stuff. So I'm not sporting them out so loud, but man, they're just comfortable. I mean, they're very good socks. Well, listen, I'm going to let you roll, but I really do appreciate this. And I hope that you will always just stay in touch. If I can ever do anything for you or any of us can, you know where to go, because we really appreciate you. And I speak just not me. I'm not just talking about me, of course, our whole team here, everybody heard that message and it meant a lot. So I'm glad to, be able to formally, sort of as personally as we can, to thank you for that.
I really, really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. I didn't expect any of this out of it. So I'm just as grateful as you are for me. I'm super grateful for you and your whole team. And I hope that everybody knows that. You guys are awesome.
Oh, look, tell everybody at Victory there in Philadelphia, hello for us. And thank you all of you. And folks, if you're listening and you're in Philly and you like beer, go to Victory. Check it out. New place. Great people working there, obviously, the most hospitable people you ever come across. So, Millie, thank you very much. Have a good rest of the day. And like I said, seriously, and I mean that, if I can ever do anything, just let me know.
Thank you. You're amazing. You have a fantastic day as well.
You are. All right. We'll see you. Bye, Millie.
Dude, bye-bye. Have a good one.
See you.